This is the Roush Catback exhaust, and it is available for all 2019 through 2023 Ford Rangers. Now, you guys should be checking out the Roush system here if you want an aggressive but not over-the-top system that delivers just enough volume for most owners, yet still maintains a nice deep tone throughout the turbocharged 2.3-liter rev range. Now, the Roush will utilize a full stainless steel build here along with the black tips, and can be had all for right around the $1,100 price point. Starting off with our features block here, and let's just get right into the sound and go to my patented and official Wake the Neighbor scale, where I have the Roush coming in at a strong 3 out of 5 on the 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale. Now, I will say initial cold start is going to be a bit louder, certainly more aggressive, but once those revs come down a bit and the truck gets up to temp, the system really does mellow out, and at that point I would say delivers that nice balance of volume and a deeper tone overall. Now, same can be said inside the truck while cruising. You certainly can tell that the truck, or at least the exhaust, is not stock, but it is still very mellow overall and certainly won't get confused with any crazy imports or anything like that driving down the street. All right, moving into our construction block here, guys, and because this is a Roush system, not only can you expect really nice build quality and materials, but also really nice fitment as well. And that is evident when it comes time for the install. Now, you are going to be looking at a mix of 409 grade stainless for some of the system here, including the mandrel bent tubing and straight through muffler. However, Roush does incorporate the 304 grade stainless steel here for the dual 4-inch tips with that Y pipe, and those have been finished off in a high temp flat black coating here, and that will exit out of the factory location. Now, if you were interested in the more traditional polished tip, well, you are in luck. Roush does offer that as well, but the black is certainly going to be giving off a little bit more of that aggressive vibe. Certainly a great option for Ranger owners out there who have added some black accents to their truck and want to keep that going with the exhaust. Now, your price point for the Roush Catback here will land around $1,100, give or take a bit, which certainly does put this on the more premium side of things, along with other systems from MagnaFlow and AWE, just to name a few. All right, moving into the installation, and the site does have this as a solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you, I would say, at least an hour to complete from start to finish. But now, to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you'll need a mallet, an exhaust bushing removal tool, a swivel socket, a socket extension, a 15mm wrench, a 15mm socket, a 13mm socket, a ratchet, and an impact. Today we're going to be installing an exhaust on our Ranger. But before we get into that, let's watch a quick video of how to uninstall it.
So the first thing we're going to do is unbolt the hanger that's right above our tailpipe. It's one 13mm bolt. I'm going to use a 13mm swivel socket just to give myself a little bit more access.
Now, we don't really have a good angle to see this bolt up here, but it's just right above this hanger. So take that 13mm swivel socket and remove that bolt. Next, we're going to come to right in front of our muffler and disconnect this clamp. I've got a 15mm nut on there, so I've got a 15mm socket on my ratchet to loosen that up. So now we've just got these 2 rubber isolators left holding in our exhaust. I've got my buddy at the tailpipe to support the weight while I pop these out. And then we just got to slide this off of our front pipe. I've got a rubber mallet just in case we need it. We can hit the edge of the muffler to slide that off. Grab an exhaust hanger remover tool to pop these isolators off. Now I'm gonna take that rubber mallet and just give it some taps.
Welcome back. Now that we've uninstalled the exhaust, it's time to install the new exhaust. So we're going to grab one of the hose clamps provided with the kit. I'm going to slip it on right here. Then we're going to grab our muffler and hook it on up here and connect it to here. To tighten down this hose clamp, it's going to be a 15mm socket, a socket extension, and an impact. And then we're going to install this portion of the exhaust. So grab another exhaust clamp, flip it on. We're going to put it over. We're going to leave it like this for now. Next, we're going to take a 13mm socket and a ratchet. We're going to screw in this bolt up there. Next order of business is to tighten down this exhaust clamp. So we're going to use a 15mm socket, a socket extension, and an impact. Now it's time to install the rear portion of the exhaust. We're going to have a hose clamp here, a hose clamp here. The exhaust tips are going to sit here. So for both exhaust clamps, we want to snug them down just enough so that they stay in the position that we want, but we don't want to tighten them down just yet because we want to make sure we have the right alignment of the exhaust tips so they don't look wonky. So we're going to put this on first. And to tighten down both of these exhaust clamps, it's going to be a 15mm socket, a socket extension, and an impact. Just want to make sure that it's just snug enough. And then we're going to install the exhaust tips. So again, we're going to put our hose clamp here. We're going to insert our exhaust tips. So when you go to install these, you want to make sure the R for Roush is pointed up. You might have a little bit of a hard time fitting this on. You just got to wiggle it back and forth and it'll go on eventually. Looks like right about there is where we're going to put it. So I'm going to slide my exhaust clamp on, and now we can tighten this down all the way. Again, we're going to be using a 15mm socket, a socket extension, and an impact. We're going to tighten this one down, and then we're going to go back and tighten that one down all the way. Alrighty, that about wraps up this review and install of the Roush single exhaust system with black wide pipe and tip side exit for a 2019 to 2023 Ranger. Thank you for watching, and remember, for everything Ranger, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.